Several things that indicate playoff basketball are the shape of brackets, big full gyms, and a trip to Ottawa in the IHSA playoffs. And tonight we have a great one on tap, a Class 3A sectional semifinal between two state-ranked squads, the number 1 ranked Kankakee K's and the number 8 ranked East Peoria Raiders. Both teams having historic seasons, looking to keep it going into the Sweet 16. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kingman Gym alongside Caden Sexton. I'm Jonathan Michael, and Caden, first things first, we've been looking forward to this gym for a long time. We always love coming here in the playoffs, and this place is going to get loud and rowdy, a fun environment tonight.
Yeah, the last time you and I were here was for last playoffs as sectional between Morton and Washington. That was a thriller, and tonight we're expecting an incredible game, one that might even top the last time we were in this beautiful gym. These two teams haven't seen each other in over 2 decades. They have a lot of success on their individual seasons, a lot of reason to be proud of themselves, but one of those rides unfortunately has to end tonight, and it should be a good one.
It should be a good one indeed, and we're going to see a fantastic matchup again. Both these teams very deep. There is depth to both these squads. That's why they've been state ranked for most of the season, but we cannot go that much further into the broadcast without talking about what we're going to see tonight. We're going to see a matchup of the number 1 senior in the state, Lincoln Williams on Kankakee, take on one of the top juniors in the state in East Peoria's Quentin Kitt.
Yeah, Kitt already has committed to the University of Illinois. He is a player that, I mean, he had a 39-point game to bring his team in not an upset victory, but a come-from-behind victory against a conference rival against Metamora. He scored 37 the last time he was out on the floor. This is a kid who, he might just be a junior, but he's only getting better every time he touches the floor. You go on the other side, Lincoln Williams, he hasn't committed yet. He's got a lot of Division I offers, but he's somebody who can rally, somebody who can do anything for his squad. He can go in the post, grab rebounds. He can shoot from anywhere on the floor. He's somebody who's going to make a difference no matter who he's guarded against tonight.
Williams was just down in Arizona, nice and balmy down there for an official visit to Arizona State just last weekend. Came back home to Kankakee and getting his team ready for tonight's sectional semifinal here from a very packed Kingman Gym. Caden, the crowd really pouring in here in the last few minutes or so. I'd say we're about 80% full on both sides, and I'm sure we're going to see more coming in as well. But tell them more about these teams. Let's start with East Peoria, Caden. They won a regional title for the first time since 1997, a historic drought that got broken against Peoria High back on Friday in Galesburg. And this team, again, on the verge of 30 wins. They're 29-4 on the year, 12-2 in the Mid-Illini.
Yeah, and in their last 23 games, they've only had they've only had 1 game that was within a 2-score contest, and it was a victory against Metamora, that 39-point Quentin Kitt game. They're not somebody who's going to play close. They're somebody who, if they're going to get a win, they're going to play with a 10 or more point lead.
They almost got upset by Washington last week in the regional semis, but won that one 58-51. And again, they beat Peoria High 68-57 behind 37 points from Kitt in the regional title game. For Kankakee, they won the Geneseo Regional. They beat Morris 63-36 and scored a season-high 93 points against Plano to win the regional title 93-41.
Look, I don't care who the team is. 93 points, season high in the postseason is remarkable. A 28-1 year for the K's. Their one loss, a neutral game against DePaul College Prep, John. They are an incredible team and one of the best offenses in the whole state.
Take a quick break for our national anthem. We'll be right back here inside Kingman Gym when we come back. something you become used to seeing and hearing if you're an East Peoria fan. The student section chanting home of the Raiders. They are at the end of the national anthem. We're ready to play basketball here tonight in Ottawa. But going back to Kankakee real quick, Caden, again, they have won 23 in a row. Again, just that one loss on the season. East Peoria looking to hand them number 2 tonight. That loss came all the way back on December 14th. For the Raiders, interesting streak for them. They've won 8 straight games on 3 different occasions this season. However, they have not gotten to a 9-game win streak. However, they can with a win here tonight as we get introduced to the starting lineups. East Peoria is the visitors. They go first. Raiders in their away blacks with maroon numbers and gold trim. Their starting lineup will go like this. Jackson Ahrens, a 6'1" senior guard, do-it-all guy, a senior 1,000-point scorer. Cole DuBois, back from a broken hand, suffered on February 14th, played on Friday in a big surprise. Kingston Weatherspoon, a freshman guard, plays mature beyond his years, number 5. And Quentin Kitt, a 6'6" swingman and the junior, again, committed to Illinois. And Kalen Hardy, a sophomore forward and transfer from Peoria High to round it out. For Kankakee, if you've got a roster in your hands, it's pretty simple. Their starters are numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 1 is Lincoln Williams, a 6'6" senior guard. Again, the top senior consensus in the state of Illinois. Number 2, another senior, Kanaz Jackson Jr., a 6'4" guard, put up a double-double in their last game against Plano. Cedric Terrell III, a 5'11" senior guard. You might know him as a football standout at running back, but also a good basketball player as well. Meyer Thompson, again another member of this Kankakee team that reached the sectional semifinals last year. 6'1" senior guard, wearing number 4, and then EJ Hazlitt, Caden, a number 5, 6'7" senior forward. He's back with the K's after his family moved back to the area.
Yeah, and he's an Indiana State Sycamore commit, so he'll be playing next year in the Missouri Valley Conference. One note about those starting lineups, you've got 5 seniors for the K's. On the other side of the ball, East Peoria starts a freshman through senior. All 4 classes being represented in their starting 5. A lot of confidence in their guys and a lot more depth that can come off the bench for both these squads.
That's a good point, Caden, and an interesting note. We were kind of talking about this Kankakee team. To use a Central Illinois comparison, reminds us a little bit of Washington's girls team that season ended in heartbreak last year, brought everyone back pretty much, added one really key new piece and has been dominant this season. But we are ready to go with the tip-off. Kankakee in their home whites, maroon numbers. They go left to right into the teeth of the East Peoria student section, who is well over 100 deep here tonight. Here's Meyer Thompson driving it on the left side, beat his man Weatherspoon and lays it up and in.
I mean, that just looked smooth, that looks confident. He was able to cleanly maneuver and get a clean shot for 2.
2-zip K's here. Quick possession, 7:35 to go. Now East Peoria has it with Ahrens. Kankakee students, a large fraction of them just rolled in. Got here at the perfect time. DuBois out to Ahrens. He's guarded by Thompson beyond the arc. Raiders still haven't gotten it inside the arc yet. It's Kitt now over to Hardy on the right side. Now DuBois, guarded by Terrell. DuBois goes around his screen, will drive it in. His floater was tipped by the 6'7" Hazlitt.
Hazlitt with a clean play there. Kankakee in man defense.
Here's Terrell kicking it back out. Hazlitt cutting right in towards the hoop and lays it in. It's 4-0 K's.
Yeah, going back to that man defense from Kankakee, it is Williams on Kitt. And so the matchup everyone's been waiting for will be right here on Kitt's offensive side.
Here's DuBois with it, kicking it over to Hardy. Now Ahrens. Ahrens over to Kitt. Kitt shot rimmed out and rebounded there by Kanaz Jackson.
Kitt with a great shot, just an unlucky fall for the junior.
Here's Kankakee on the other side now. Cedric Terrell over to Hazlitt. 6:15 to go in the first, and the K's lead at 4-0. Takeaway by Ahrens. Ball was loose. Both players diving for it. We're going to get a foul on Hazlitt at about midcourt.
Yeah, there's not more you can do there for Hazlitt. He kind of got fouled trying to reclaim the basketball, never really had a clear contact on Ahrens. He was just trying to reclaim what was lost to him and try and not let their offensive spark die. Instead, it turns into a foul with 6 minutes to go.
And we'll get another foul, this time though on East Peoria.
Yeah, they're going to call Kit on a charge there, John. Williams picked him up right at the half-court line, and just a little bit of a lowered shoulder trying to cross calls the first foul against the Raiders.
Both teams with an early foul, 6:06 to go. Kankakee 4, East Peoria 0 so far. Thompson now over to Williams. Here's Williams on Kit. Williams going to dial up a three right in Kit's face. It was a bit too long off the back iron, and Du Bois has the rebound. Raiders going in our direction, right to left towards us here in our booth in the balcony. Hardy, nice shot fake to get into the paint, lays it up and in.
Hardy even though he's a 6'5 sophomore, he had a lot of patience there to let Kankakee jump, make themselves out of position so he has a clean open shot, and he makes it for 2.
Hardy, 7 points, 14 rebounds against Peoria High. Now like 3 on the other end by the K's. Cedric Terrell Jr., number 3, joining it from three-point land.
Yeah, the passing there, trying to drive into the post, allowed Terrell the third to get a wide open look for 3, and he didn't let the Raiders forget it.
7-2 Kankakee lead, 5:09 to go in the first quarter. Here's Hardy, left open for 3 and drains it. Hardy's got all 5 for EP.
A guy in his face there, but he says, I got to answer 3 for 3. Hardy drains one over the Kankakee defender. Now the K's go back to work.
Oh, nice little pass fake to free himself up there, and Kanaz Jackson Jr. received the pass in the corner, but his foot was stepping out of bounds. So it's going to be Raiders ball with 4:48 to go, trailing 7-5.
Yeah, the East Peoria student section starting that "you can't do that" chant, but there's not much more you can do there if you're him. It's a wide 3-point corner there between the out of bounds and the line. He just unfortunately had his foot a little bit too far back.
Here's Kit on Williams. Kit showed off his muscles, backing him down, and puts it up with one hand and scores. Advantage, Kit to start. 7-7 here in Ottawa now.
Kit with those beautiful yellow shoes, I must add. Everybody else with the plain blacks except for Quentin Kett.
And Hardy's got some purple shoes as well, but Kankakee puts it up and in. I think that was Terrell.
Terrell, yeah.
There on the floater, 9-7. Now Du Bois, top of the key 3, off the mark. And Hazlitt the rebound, and a foul on Hardy, trying to chase down the rebound, but too much body and not enough ball there.
A very quick 3 there by Du Bois, but just unfortunate for him. An interesting note, John, we have mentioned already Kankakee students, they're very loud. They are here in numbers, but it took them until the buzzer to get into the gym. Now the cheerleaders walk in with 4 minutes into the game.
A little bit of a late arriving crowd for the K's, but this place is almost completely full. 9-7 Kankakee lead as there's a stray PA announcement during play. And the shot was missed there by the K's, perhaps threw him off. It's Ahrens the rebound, now the other way. Spins into the lane and shoots from just inside the free throw line and hits. 9-9 with 3:40 to go in the first.
Ahrens, the only senior in the starting lineup for East Peoria. He scored 15 in the regional win and just looked so comfortable there with that shot.
K's working around. 3 ball came up well short by Kanaz Jackson Jr., and Kit has the board. Ahrens a player that, again, maybe sometimes overlooked compared to Cole Du Bois and Quentin Kit, but he's a 1,000-point scorer and all-conference player for the Raiders. As B.J. Nicholson into the game now and corrals it off of the hands of Kit. Nicholson, a sophomore and a Peoria High transfer, 1 of 3 on the squad. Nicholson in a bit of trouble, but finds a safety valve in Du Bois out near half court. K student section getting loud right here in front of us. Du Bois passing Nicholson, his 3, all the way around and out. Williams and Kit fought for the board, and it's going to stay with EP.
Williams talking to the ref there. He really thought that Kit was the last one to have his hand on it, but instead they're going to give East Peoria the ball back.
Well, I think Kit was the last person to have his hand on it, but they say that Williams influenced that, and he was the reason that it was off on him. So and we'll keep it with the Raiders. Du Bois to inbound to Mason Isaacs, number 10, a 6'3" senior forward. Guy who does the little things off the bench for the Raiders. Now Aarons into Kit. Kit on Williams, part 2. Kit turning, fading, baseline, too strong, and Hazlitt the rebound.
Yeah, he was fading away from the hoop, and when you do that, it's hard to get a clean shot straight, and his was just a little bit wide, a little bit hard.
Nice crossover by Cedric Terrell, puts him a wild floater off to the right, but he tipped it right back out. Hazlitt for 3, got it! Full 360 around the rim and in. It's 12-9 K's with 2:15 to go in the first.
Yeah, right place, right time there for Hazlitt, and he was able to take the wide open 3 and drain another second 3 in the game for his team.
Hazlitt and Terrell both with 5 for Kankakee. Hardy with 5 for the Raiders. Hazlitt's going to have 7 though. Comes around the steal and the flush. An emphatic slam. And was there a foul there by Isaacs? And I believe there might have been. Not a smart foul there, just need to let him just sit back and take the 2. Now Hazlitt a chance to get 3 as it's 14-9 here with 1:53 to go in the first.
Yeah, Isaacs the senior should know a little bit better. That dunk is coming. You just get out of the way and let it happen. Kankakee's not going to be quieting down anytime soon, John.
Loose ball turnover, and Hazlitt has had a wide open run to the hoop and knocks down the free throw. It's 15-9 Kankakee lead here in Ottawa. Tension is palpable here in this gym and should be for the rest of the game. As Kit drives it in, almost lost the handle into the hands of Aarons. Now Du Bois, and he match up with Terrell on defense. Aarons from way downtown, shot that one from LaSalle, and Williams had the defense there, and that one off the mark. Meyer Thompson will slow things down for the K's. 1:20 on the clock. Williams over to Hazlitt. Guarded by Hardy. Now Hazlitt will shoot from way out again and drains it. Hazlitt with 11 for Kankakee. It's 18-9 and a 9-0 K's run.
Originally the plan was drive into the paint for Chris Pickett's Kankakee K's, but they've really found some success in the last 4 at the arc.
Aarons will pass over to Hardy. Almost shot fade Hazlitt. Now Hardy into the lane and draws the foul on Hazlitt. A nice smart move there to get Hazlitt up in the air with that shot fake on the low right block. And that is going to be 2 fouls on Hazlitt. So something to keep an eye on in this one here with 49 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, they've kept their 5 starters in the entire time. I'm talking about the Kankakee K's, but they're going to go to the bench now for the last 49.
And Hardy misses the free throw. I'll get a second here. East Peoria, a team that loves to attack and get to the line. They went 15 of 21 to the line against the Panthers and shot a lot of free throws too in their regional title win over Peoria High. Hardy knocks down number 2 and is up to 6 points, and that'll make it an 18-10 Kankakee lead.
The K's have been decently fast-paced this entire quarter. Now they're trying to just slow things down. They're going to wait for the open look. They've got the 8-point lead with 30 seconds left. They're waiting for the right shot here.
Here's Williams in the corner, going to shoot, and that one I think was an air ball. Williams still has not scored yet in this one. Kit with just 2. Now here's Weatherspoon with 18 seconds. Now Aaron stands on that red O at half court. And home of the Ottawa Pirates, trying to get it to Kit, stolen away by Williams. Williams driving it, he slams it home. Now with 2 with 1, Kit driving down quickly. His layup just came up short, just not enough mustard on it. It's a 20-10 Kankakee lead here through 1 quarter in Ottawa.
Yeah, and on that transition dunk there, I think Quentin Kit in East Peoria was kind of arguing that Williams took the legs out from Kit. I don't see that argument personally, but it's definitely there. Basically, what happened was Williams got screened. He had to work his way around the back, and in doing so with a little bit of a wide pass, there was just a little bit of a collision. It's more accidental than anything else. So.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact there. I think some Raiders fans did want to call, but not going to get it. And boy, speaking of referees and calls, Kitty, we were talking on the way here, a game I was at yesterday, crazy ending between Richwoods and Normal Community. If you haven't seen the how that one ended, I'm sure you can go find on social media. I posted videos about it on my Twitter at JohnDog237. But Amarion Smith Holly was fouled, or some people don't think he was fouled, but referees called it. Knocked down 3 free throws with no time on the clock, and Richwoods won 68-67 in a thriller last night. So this is March, baby.
I mean, look, we might not have March Madness yet, but in the state of Illinois, it's been here since February.
It has. It's, again, great time. Again, tomorrow, I want to let you know that we'll have free live audio coverage and also written coverage, social media, you name it. We're there for DMAC. Their girls are playing in the state semis tomorrow, first time in state history, taking on Rockford Christian at 11:45 a.m. And we'll have the same sort of coverage for Washington girls when they take on St. Viator on Friday. We'll also be back here for the sectional title in Ottawa on Friday too. So join us again that night as East Peoria starts with the ball and draws an early foul. That's going to go on to Williams. That's his first.
Yeah, the game on Friday in this building is the winner of this one against Morton for a sectional title.
And Kit trying to muscle one up. His layup no good, but DuBois, ball ends up in his hands somehow. He gives it to Hardy. Active hands by the K's, and they come away with it.
Yeah, DuBois right there tried to feed it to a man who was guarded by 2. Kankakee all over it.
Williams on the drive, dumps it off to Cunningham off the bench. He was blocked, swatted by Kit in the jubilant Raiders student section, but he'll keep it here with the K's.
Trailing by 10, Kit just looks calm, focused, and hungry right now on the floor.
Inbounds pass and a fadeaway 3 by Jackson, rimmed out. I tell you, Kankakee's shots, Caden, again, this team looks like they are the #1 scoring offense in Class 3A, which they are.
Yeah, they average over 70 points a night, and in the postseason, they're averaging 78.
Here's Weatherspoon with the 3. That one off the mark. Ball tipped off of Williams. It'll stay with East Peoria. But Kankakee, the #7 scoring offense in the entire state, regardless of class. They average 70.4 a game. East Peoria averages 62.2. Pretty strong in their own right. DuBois inbound to Ahrens on the right wing. Now back out to Kit. Kit gonna shoot a triple. Comes up short. Hardy bats it back to Ahrens. And we're gonna get a foul on Kankakee. And the K's cannot believe it. They have not been in favor of these whistles tonight. It's gonna be #2 this quarter, and it's gonna be the first on Elijah Cunningham, a 6'3" senior guard who was the first off the bench for Kankakee.
Yeah, he kind of blocked the first attempt from Ahrens, and then the second, a little bit too much contact according to our officials.
Ahrens knocks down free throw #1, so it's 20-11. Kankakee leads it with 6:52 to go in the second quarter. Again, this was a 9-9 game, and Kankakee went on a big run. Ahrens missed the second, and it will stay 20-11.
As a team, the Raiders are only 50% from the free throw line. It's early, but those are going to could come back to bite them in a close game.
Williams over to Thompson. Now here's Jackson. Turnaround jumper in the lane is good. First points for Kanaz Jackson Jr., who had 11 points and 10 boards in the regional title blowout over Plano.
Everybody in that starting 5 has at least 1 bucket now for the K's.
It's 3 scores for the Raiders, not including this man, BJ Nicholson, but now he knocks one down, a 3-ball from straight away. It's 22-14, Kankakee leads.
And that's what makes East Peoria special. Somebody can come off the bench in first shot attempt, drain a 3-pointer. It's hard to defend when everybody is so strong.
K's now on the other end. Under 6 minutes to play here in the second. Energy just pulsing through this gym. Shout out to both school student sections for making the long drive over to Ottawa here on this Wednesday night. Driving a kick. Terrell went behind the back, or behind a Raiders back, and tossed it to a cutting Williams who slammed it in.
I mean, there was no way you can defensively stop that if you're the Raiders. A perfectly designed play by Kankakee.
3 from DuBois, and the answer. There's DuBois' first bucket again, playing with that recently healed broken right hand.
Yeah, and that wasn't just a normal 3, John. That was a pretty deep 3-point attempt for DuBois, and he drained it.
A whistle away from the ball. See who they're going to get on the foul. It might be Kit. Now it's going to just be Aaron's, it looks like.
It's his first.
Just one on Aaron's. Again, Hazlitt, I was about to say he hasn't came back in the game, but now he does. So Hazlitt back out there with 2 fouls for Kankakee. And he's got 11 points in case you're just tuning in. Hazlitt, again, 3-star, committed to Indiana State. Going to be a Sycamore next year. As here's Jackson. Steps in front of the 3-point arc and missed it, but the offensive board to Thompson. And that one was altered by the Raiders D. Now Aaron's the other direction. Raiders going right to left, and a pass to Kent stolen by Williams. Dunk number 3 of the night for Lincoln Williams, the top senior in the entire state. It's 26-17. K's are up.
Yeah, Williams has got 6 points. He's got all of them based off of dunks, and they have been flashy, I must add.
And 2 of them have come off steals as Dubois tried to kick it back out and deflected off of a Kankakee player and into the first row of the bleachers down there. Interesting setup. There's 3 rows of bleachers down there at field on court level, and the rest of them up here above on the balcony.
And we've got these nice corner media outlets as well as an additional upper deck level seating for the band when the band is playing at the basketball games.
Yeah, no band for either squad here tonight, but both squads bring their cheerleaders as Kit got fouled with 4:08 to go. Again, Kankakee leads 26-17. And that foul is going to go on Williams. That's his second. So the plot thickens now here at the foul trouble for the K's.
Yeah, 2 for your top 2, arguably top 2 players, I should say.
Already almost stepped out of bounds there, catching the inbound, but keeps it in. Halfway through this 4th quarter, and East Peoria, or 2nd quarter, I should say, East Peoria hasn't quite cut into this deficit that much. And Kit trying to make a move on Williams and travel.
I think the highlight of the night has not been the offensive Kit or Williams, but it's been the defensive stature that both of them are imposing on each other. Really, these are 2 players that throughout the rest of the year are looking at doubles and triple teams to stop themselves. Tonight they're doing it one-on-one.
And both players a similar build, about 6'6" or so. Kit a little bit bigger. He told me on Friday that he's a little bit bigger, more muscular than some people give him credit for. He's about 215, 220. And bulk up even more before heading to Illinois. As here's Dubois, another perimeter jumper's good. That's a triple. And Dubois has brought EP to within 6. It's 26-20, 3:20 left in the second.
It's only a 6-point game. These threes really cut back, and East Peoria knows it. That's why they're shooting them.
Terrell, a small push off to create space on Dubois, and it came up short. Kit the rebound. Kicking a drive in on Williams. And that is going to be Williams' 3rd, I believe. Kit, such an aware player, knowing that Williams has 2. They're going to say that's on Jackson.
I think you were, watching it live, it really, I agree with you, looks like it was on Lincoln Williams, but Jackson came in with some help defense, and they give him the foul.
So Kankakee breathes a sigh of relief as, again, their 2 top players and top scorers, E.J. Hazlitt and Lincoln Williams, both have 2 fouls, and Kit's first free throw rims out. EP's left a few at the stripe here in this first half.
These Raiders, a lot of them playing in the biggest game of their careers. They just need to take some deep breaths, understand that everything's going to happen for a reason. They've just got to go out there and play their own game.
They got a phenomenal year for the Raiders. Winning their first regional since 1997. And they finished 2nd in the Mid-Atlantic to Morton. But again, they are looking for their first ever sectional title here this week in Ottawa. As the K's have it, and going into the East Peoria student section, both squads will be more in the friendly confines in the second half. As here's Hazlitt trying to work on Isaacs, driving in, puts it up with one hand and scores. Nifty move there from E.J. Hazlitt. Here's Dubois, beat his man, his floater off the glass and in. 28-23.
That ball looks like it was going to hang up there forever, but perfect off the glass in there for a bank.
Du Bois has got a quick 8 for East Peoria. That leads all Raiders so far. And here's Williams now. Kit goes back on him. Now the K's slow things down. Hazlitt in the corner, guarded by Isaac's going to pull a 3 right in his grill, and it rimmed out. Aarons corralled the miss.
When Williams didn't have the ball there, East Peoria had Kit standing right underneath the basket.
Du Bois for 3, and comes up short.
Trying to prevent anybody from driving, and then any shot attempt made Kit go and box Williams back out.
And Kit located about the free throw line on defense right now. Williams a few feet outside of him as they get a screen. Here's Thompson looking to set something up. Here's Terrell, dribble move on Du Bois and nearly pulled the trigger. Down to 128. K's lead at 28-23. Over to Williams. And a drive in on Kit. And there will be a foul on the Raiders, on Kit.
They're going to call the foul before the shot. You can hear Raiders fans in here wanting, I think they want to travel, but that was clearly a foul on Kit.
Yes, his first. Hardy has 2 fouls for East Peoria. Inbound goes to Jackson. He's been fun to watch tonight, as has Terrell, but this is Thompson for 3, and that went too long. Long board goes to Aarons, or Du Bois, I should say, and he'll bring it up. See, Du Bois' leadership called out the play. This team is so much better when he's out there on the floor. 1 minute left to play here before halftime. Kit on the wing, has some space to create against Williams. Driving over to Weatherspoon, now Du Bois. Nice spin move to get past Thompson. A floater off the bank and in. Little razzle-dazzle, Cole Du Bois, he's got 10.
And all of them coming in this second quarter. Du Bois has been the anchor right now. He wanted the foul on that shot. Doesn't matter. He still drained it, even with some body and some contact. 25 seconds to go.
You hear the crowd. It's getting loud and rowdy here in Kingman. What else did you expect? Raiders all pumped up here, and the K's are wasting some time trying to get the last shot. We're down to 11. As here's Thompson, gonna shoot a 3, top of the key, no good. Du Bois the miss, or the rebound, with 5 seconds left. Trying to drive in, they're gonna call Terrell for a foul, and that will send Du Bois to the line in the bonus with 3.4 to go before halftime.
I mean, that's not a foul you want to commit, and he knows it. He doesn't like the fact that it was called on him. He's gone to all 3 refs already to complain about it. But look, 3-point game, 2 attempts right here. John, it's getting interesting.
And East Peoria trailed by 10. It was 20-10 at one point, and now it is 28-26 as Du Bois knocks down the first. How about the story? Now, Cole Du Bois is riding here in the playoffs. I mean, no one expected him to come back in that regional title win over Peoria High, but he did, and he knocks down the second free throw. This is a 1-point game.
First Raider tonight to make both of his free throws. It's a 1-point game with 3.4 seconds. In a zone, they're just no fouls is all that you can be saying if you're Jarrett Brown.
Well, they do have something to give. They inbound it to Williams, who passes it over and mishandled. Shot did get up, but I don't think it would have counted by Jackson. Almost went into the crowd, but East Peoria finishes the second quarter with a flourish. And this is anyone's ball game, Caden. Kankakee 28, East Peoria 27.
I mean, you said it best. This is a game where both teams have shown their best on offense, their best on defense, and have both made a couple mistakes. And it's no mistake that's going to haunt you, but it allowed the other teams to take that step up because of their prolific play. All you got to do at halftime, if you're either of these teams, is say, play your own style of basketball. You guys have proven, each of them, first quarter the K's, second quarter the Raiders, have proven that your brand of basketball can beat the other team. Go out there and do it.
For sure, all good points there. We'll break down more of the first half, take a look around the area, and talk all things hoops. And here at halftime from Kingman Gym in Ottawa, the fans going to head to the concession stands. They're going to be busy here for the next few minutes. You can grab a quick snack as well. If you want, we're going to take a quick break and be right back here again from Ottawa. Again, at halftime, it's Kankakee 28, East Peoria 27. We'll be right back in 2 minutes here on Clutch Sports Media.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the IHSA and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
Come on, Liam, let's go! Get open! Come on, go for it! Wake up! Wake up, Liam! Oh, come on, use your head! Gotta want it! Dominate!
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the IHSA and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
Game day in my house is everything. I get out of class, I grab my gear, and get to the game because I can't wait. And my dad, he does the same thing. He's an official here in Illinois. He makes the tough calls, stays cool under pressure, and knows ball like nobody else. I want to be just like him. You can too. Sign up at highschoolofficials.com.
And welcome back inside Kingman Gym. Again, halftime of a Class 3A sectional semifinal. This is the round of 32. For those of you counting at home at Kankakee, the #1 team in the state, favored by many to win this game, only leads it by 1 here through 16 minutes. Raiders finish the second quarter with a flourish, down 28-27. And Kaden, again, we talked about it in the first half. Huge week of basketball. 2 other games in our area going on tonight. DMAC, a winner over Brimfield, 41-40. Brimfield had 2 chances to win it in the final seconds, and both shots toughly contested and just missed there. So DMAC will play Tremont for a sectional title on Friday up in Class 1A in Monmouth.
Yeah, and what a great year for DMAC athletics in general. I mean, they've had strong success in girls basketball, obviously, who is going to their first state in school history tomorrow. And look, their boys team has been just getting better and better every single year, and now they've got just the opportunity to fight for a sectional, and all you can ask for at this point in the season is to play one more game.
And the other game going on tonight, if you want to listen to another game going on, we actually are carrying it for you. Our Joey Wright is flying solo down in Muhammad Seymour, but he's got the call of Springfield and Normal U-High. Again, that's also Class 3A action. Different part of the bracket, but Normal U-High having a great season. They're facing off with a familiar conference foe in Springfield in the sectional semifinals. So interesting how in the sectional semis you get 2 schools sometimes from the same conference, and with this one you get 2 schools from different sides of the state going up against it. I kind of prefer that a little bit.
Oh, it's the unfamiliarity, the unknown, but the excitement that brings that really gets you into basketball here at the end of the season in these playoff times, especially going to crazy random gyms like tonight here in Ottawa.
Yeah, well, this one is, again, become a tradition. We've seen sectional titles, super sectional games. I've been here for a few volleyball games as well, some big ones deep in the playoffs. So always a great time and first-class hospitality, too, here in Ottawa. Who, by the way, they just brought us official first-half stats. Kate, what do you say we take a look at them?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen first-half stats by any other high school in the state of Illinois.
No, especially ones that brought them right to us. So let's take a look here. Again, Kankakee, 12 of 26 on field goals. They're shooting 46%. East Peoria 9 of 20, shooting 45%. Big difference maker right now has been the three-pointers for the Raiders. They're 4 of 10, and Kankakee is 3 of 12. Du Bois with 2 threes for East Peoria so far, and he leads all Raiders right now with 12.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. All right, the rebounds. That's what I like to see. 15 for East Peoria, 4 for both Aarons and Du Bois. Going on the other side, just 11 for arguably a taller Kankakee K's squad, but 6 of those boards coming from E.J. Hazlitt.
Yeah, Hazlitt, a great first half, 13 points and 6 rebounds, so their leading scorer, leading rebounder. And again, he has got 2 fouls, though. So, yeah, only played 12 minutes, so that makes it even more impressive what he did in that first half. I'm glad you pointed that out, Caden. Again, Lincoln Williams with 6 and no rebounds, 2 steals, both that led to dunks in that first half. And else for the K's, you got Kanaz Jackson with 2, Terrell the third with 5, Thompson with 2, and that rounds out their scoring.
Yeah, all 5 starters for the K's with a bucket. Nobody else with a basket on their roster so far.
Yeah, and 2 out of their 3 threes, again, we talked about how much Hazlitt did. 2 out of those 3 threes were from Hazlitt, so he has been really doing it all for Kankakee, who shot 8 of 13 in the first quarter, just 4 of 13 in the second, 0 of 6 from deep in that frame as well. Meanwhile, East Peoria, 3 of 6 from deep in the second, and 5 of 9 overall from the field. Look at the free throws. East Peoria has an advantage. They're 5 for 8. Kankakee just 1 trip to the line, and that was an and 1 from Hazlitt. So again, Raiders, if they can get to the line more, I think that's going to be a big key in the second half.
Oh, 100%. But even go back to that three-point percentage, 0 for 6. You want to shoot from beyond the arc. You know it's worth an extra point on the scoreboard, and you know your guys have the ability to make them from that far. But so far in the game, this team, whether it be in the first half, 4 for 13 is a good number. It's 30%, but add that 4 for 13 with an 0 for 6, you're shooting just 4 for 19 from beyond the arc if you're the K's.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow in that second quarter for them, and allowed East Peoria to get back. Another thing, again, to note is the turnovers. East Peoria's committed 5. Kankakee has committed 3. So again, the Raiders got to be crisp with their passes. You saw again a couple times, not quite as crisp as it could be, a cross-court pass, and Williams just read it like a book and came away with some steals. So again, you got to prevent obviously the easy 2 points, but you also have to prevent, I call the momentum points. You know, when the student section goes crazy, those big dunks that Williams had in that first half.
They really are the momentum switchers, and we've seen them with 4 steals and a block for Kankakee, 2 blocks and 1 steal for East Peoria. But you're absolutely right. Those plays, they create opportunities that you didn't envision 3 seconds before you were going to have. It gets the student section on their feet. There was one drive where I can't remember who was on offense, but both student sections were loud, clapping, and getting crazy. And that's the impact, the influence is if you make one of those big steals, if you have one of those flashy dunks, you're going to get the people on their feet. You're going to get in the minds of the opponent.
And in case you've never been to Kingman Gym, the sound just reverberates in here. There's brick all around. Pretty much every wall in here is brick, and the court sunken below most of the bleachers. It's kind of like a little pit, some could say. So it gets very rowdy here, and a great showing from both these fan bases. Again, as we're about 90 to 95% full here in Ottawa,
and it's not a small gym.
No.
Mind you, there is probably enough room for 500 plus in this arena.
Oh yeah, easily a few thousand, I think, could fit in here. But again, a reminder of what's at stake. Again, East Peoria are looking for their first sectional title ever, and they have a chance to do so if they win tonight. Again, the winner of this game faces Morton on Friday, and we will have that one for you again live and for free here, live audio coverage on Clutch Sports Media. And even if Kankakee wins, we'll still be here as well. Kankakee, though, looking for their first sectional title since 1960. Which is crazy to think, Caden, because Chris Pickett, in his 9th season, they've had 8 straight 20-win seasons, not including COVID, but 5 regional titles, no sectional titles in that span.
Yeah, 6 regionals in 9 years, but still, since 1960 without a sectional.
And Kankakee will start second half with the ball, and Terrell the third got fouled. That one going to go, I think, on Aarons. It appeared it is, so that's 2 fouls on Jackson Aarons, who is going to be getting ready for East Peoria baseball season not too long from now. He's committed to hit the diamond at Kirkwood Community College. Another JUCO product, Meyer Thompson. He's going to be going to Southwest Michigan to play basketball with the ball, but it goes back in the hands of Kanaz Jackson Jr., and his 3 ball is off to the right. Kays are struggling from deep as Aarons driving in. Nifty move to go from the right block over to the left, went up, missed it, but got fouled.
Yeah, it was a great transition for the Raiders, moving quick, trying to get that shot up, but looks like he got hit in the head area. He was grabbing at his eye right afterwards, but gladly for everyone, he's okay, and he's about to shoot 2.
7:27 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. And this one was 9-9. And then Kankakee went on a big run and led it 20-10 as Aarons ties it up. Now we're back tied again for the first time since then at 28-28. Here's Aarons for the lead.
East Peoria sending everybody back, nobody for a rebound.
Aarons sinks it, 29-28, Kankakee trails. Now after having a big lead, got to get Hazlitt going again. 13.6 boards that first half. Here's Williams, again guarded by Kitt. Now over to Hazlitt. Hardy has the task of defending him. Hazlitt driving in. Outside Hardy, and now muscles him on the way to a layup.
Hazlitt's 15th point in this contest. When he's on the floor, he is the best player in this game.
Here's DuBois facing double coverage. Got it into Kitt. Got it around past Hazlitt, and that 3 missed badly. I haven't seen Kitt miss a 3 or any shot by that much in quite some time, so he's going to want that one back.
Yeah, he had Williams streaking in for a block. Williams has got a lot of length to go along with his 6'7" height, and he really just, Kitt wanting to protect the ball, not get it blocked, and just too far off the rim.
Hazlitt nearly picked up his 3rd foul, trying to steal that away from Kitt, as here's the Kays with Meyer Thompson, now back over to Terrell. And him and DuBois have been matched up all night. Williams and Kitt have been matched up all night, and Terrell throws that one into his own bench.
Yeah, just a hair off of Williams. Kitt kind of having to guard 2 there, and I think the quick running Kitt thought was going to get a steal, and so had to make that pass a little bit wide from him.
6:15 to go in the 3rd. Kankakee 30, East Peoria 29. Here's DuBois, again doubles covered. Now over to Aarons. Kitt driving baseline. Trying to go in on Williams. Fader's good. Kitt up to 5 points. No, pardon that, make that 8 for Kitt on the night. Now here's Hazlitt. Kays again with some good ball movement. And I've noticed there's almost all 5 players touch the ball almost every possession for the Kays. Hazlitt guarded by Hardy. DuBois ready to bring the double. Kicks it back out. Now Terrell in front of DuBois, off the mark. East Peoria has a chance to make this a 2-score game. Kitt sizes up Williams, drives it on the left side. Aarons guarded tightly by Thompson. Kitt finds DuBois on the opposite side. Kick out. Good ball movement here from East Peoria as now Kitt going to drive in, put it up, and came up short.
Little hard of a shot, just went to the left side of the rim.
Thought he was going to take that in on Hazlitt, try and give Hazlitt his 3rd. Thompson's close range shot rimmed out and rebounded by DuBois. Under 5 minutes to play in the 3rd.
He nearly got his own board twice. It got battered around in the air, but it was the Raiders who were able to come up with it.
Every eye in the gym is locked onto the court right now. Can't look away in this one. Kitt driving it in. That time is good. Went up on the glass and got past Williams. As Kitt now in double figures. 33-30, Raiders lead it. 4.5 to play in the 3rd.
It's a zone for East Peoria, but they really want Kitt to be the one to guard Williams.
Hazlitt's 3 comes up short. Kankakee has now missed, I believe, their last 8 threes, possibly more.
You're right, John. They've been cold for the last 8 minutes of game clock, and that's starting to show, and you just want to get your mentality out of it right now if you're the K's.
Getting good looks, just haven't been able to drain them. As here's Aarons. Over to Kingston Weatherspoon. Freshman hasn't scored tonight, but he is not scared of the big moment. Says he prides himself on defense and coming through for his teammates. Great ball movement, cutting Hardy, and that ball hit every part of the rim and rimmed out.
Huge sigh from the East Peoria crowd. There's nothing more they can do there. Beautiful plan, beautiful game plan, beautiful execution, just unsuccess in the ball to the rim.
Another 3-ball for Kankakee. That one, same as the last 8. No good from Jackson, and we're going to get a timeout called by, I think it was East Peoria, as they brought it up the floor. The Raiders fans show their appreciation.
And Hazlitt is going to limp off and go straight to the trainer here, John.
Yeah, Hazlitt took a tumble there on that last play in the post. I didn't see how he got knocked over, but he did.
And he was on the ground behind the basket, out of bounds. And I think Coach Pickett of Kankakee, he went over to call the timeout, which normally you can't do if the other team has the ball, but he was arguing with the ref, my player's down, he needs to get out of this game, he's injured, and so they honored it.
So we'll see if Hazlitt can come back. Again, Hazlitt 21 points and 5 rebounds in their regional title win over Plano. Had 20 points, 6 rebounds in the regional semifinals against Morris. He scored 34 points in the game against Springfield Lanphier earlier this year and moved back to Kankakee to give the K's a huge boost. Again, in this case, he was already going to be good even before Hazlitt came back. But his dad is a football coach. They grew up in Kankakee. They moved to Indiana, and now they moved back to Kankakee for Hazlitt's senior season. And he's been a big lift for their K's all season and tonight. He is not in the game, as it's Cunningham to replace him for Kankakee.
We hope everything is okay for the Kankakee senior and Sycamore commit, as Cunningham's been the only one off the bench for Coach Pickett's squad so far.
Aarons feeding Kit. He's double teamed in the post. Put up a shot. It was good, but they're going to call a foul on the floor, much to the chagrin of the maroon and gold fans. Foul will go on Williams, though. That's his 3rd. So with Hazlitt injured and Williams with 3 fouls, someone's going to have to step up for the K's here. As Kit, acrobatic catch in the post, and he got fouled by Jackson, who was going for the jump ball. And that's going to be Kankakee's 3rd of this 3rd quarter with 3:08 to play.
A monster block there from Williams, but it came after the foul from Jackson. Again, Williams with 3 fouls. You've got Jackson and Hazlitt with 2, but Hazlitt's got 15-year points and is sitting on the bench with an apparent leg injury. As you said, John, we need somebody to step up if you're a Kankakee fan.
And Kit's first free throw is good. Kit so good in the second half. Again, he led that 21-point comeback with 6 minutes to go against Metamora. We broadcasted that one. You can find that on our YouTube channel, but they were down 65-44, and Kit just single-handedly almost brings his team back, scored 39, and East Peoria won it 77-75, and he missed free throw number 2.
Hazlitt's now sitting at the table, though, John. Next dead ball, and we're going to see him back in this contest.
34-30, East Peoria leads it with 2:50 to go in the 3rd. This is the Raiders' biggest lead of the night so far. Terrell on Hardy. Bit of a mismatch there. Over to Thompson. He's going to find a spot. Mid-range. Shot no good. Williams came soaring in for the rebound. Ball tossed around and into the hands of Kit. We're going to get a foul on the K's as Kit collided with Meyer Thompson. That's 4 on the number 1 ranked team in Class 3A.
Coach Pickett really wants that one to go on Kit, but you're not going to get the call on the offensive player there. Little bit of a big flop movement type down the floor. You're going to typically see that go for the offensive player's way most situations.
And Kit just knows how to draw fouls as Hardy kicks it to Du Bois. His 3 is good! With 2:15 to go, Du Bois says, get up on your feet. It's 37-30. East Peoria leads it here in Ottawa.
It's the third three in this contest, the first in the quarter for Du Bois. His 15th point gets all of the maroon and black here in Ottawa on their feet after that timeout is called.
Du Bois again had a bit of a rough game, at least scoring the ball, and played a big role in it against Peoria High back on Friday. Again, coming back from a broken hand that he suffered on February 14th against Peoria Notre Dame, a Saturday non-conference game that EP won big, and I really felt like they lost that game because I thought Du Bois, the initial diagnosis was he was going to be done for the season, but he had a doctor's appointment the day before the regional title game, and they took a look at it. The doctor told him, if you were my son, I would want you to play, and I think you can. And Cole Du Bois says, that's all I needed to know. Came back and played. He doesn't have even a wrap on his hand tonight. No cast, no wrap, nothing, and he's got 16 as EP leads it by 7. Kay is desperate to find something. They've been cold from the field. Terrell, his shot was blocked by Kit, but I think they're going to get Du Bois, who had him bodied up there on the drive.
You're correct, John. Du Bois gets the foul. Du Bois' argument, he was standing still. He had his arms up. He didn't move. It wasn't a moving foul, but instead the officials are going to let Terrell III go to the charity stripe.
At 37-30, East Peoria leads it with 1:55 to go in the third quarter.
10 minutes left of actual game in regulation. If you are this Kankakee squad, you need to start landing your shots from deep or just continue to drive. I mean, they've been dominating in the post on both ends of the floor this contest.
But East Peoria has flourished behind the arc as Terrell's second comes up short. Not many players on the floor tonight have gone 2 for 2 at the line. 37-31. Du Bois trying to get his screen from Kit. Now it's over to Hardy on the left side. He hands off to Weatherspoon. His three rims in! The freshman knocking him down. It's 40-31. East Peoria leads.
That's the first three of the contest for the freshman. You said it, John. He prides himself on defense, but he can go and do that as well.
Williams on the drive, had it poked out. And they're going to call a foul on the Raiders. That's going to be Kit's second. And the third team foul on EP. 1:26 left in this third quarter, and they're going to say that was in the act of shooting. So Lincoln Williams, who has 6 points tonight, all of them coming on dunks, will shoot 2 and make the first.
Yeah, if you're Quidden Kit, your coach, Jared Brown, really can't tell you much better. He put his hand right on the ball, made a clean play, but the officials did not agree.
So Kit just to make it 40-33 and does. East Peoria, they've scored 58 points or more in all 8 of their last games. All 8 have been wins. Again, looking for their 9th straight win for the first time this season, and their 30th win is already a program record as Kit hands off to Hardy. Kit drawing the foul on Hazlitt, who pleads his case, said that he went up in the air and traveled. But Hazlitt, his plea going to fall on deaf ears. That's his third foul with 1:14 left in the third.
Look, I understand the argument there, but I think the officials are saying that Kit got pushed in the act of going up. And, I mean, look, he sold the call well. You mentioned it earlier. Kit does a great job of drawing fouls, and that was a foul.
Kit knocks down number 1. This is turned from a 10-point deficit to a 10-point lead, or just an 8-point lead now, I should say. Now make that 9 for EP as Kit makes it 42-33 here in the third quarter. K's fans feeling a bit of nervous energy right now.
You can hear how quiet it is from the fans in blue.
Foul on the floor as Thompson drove in on the right side. You see the K's is really trying to just put the ball on the deck and just drive to the hoop. A lot of these possessions, because their jump shots have not been falling since the first quarter. Fourth foul on EP. Inbound to Williams. Kick over Myer Thompson. His wing 3 is good. Much needed for Kankakee.
Yeah, we haven't seen a three from the K's since the first quarter. It's been over 10 attempts. Interesting note there is Kit and Hazlitt now against each other.
Kit tumbling down and puts it up and in. He has the answer, and it's 44-36. East Peoria leads.
35 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
And Kankakee might be content with taking the last shot. We'll see. Williams on the drive, kick out. Terrell's three is off to the left, and Weatherspoon has the rebound.
It's the last year of no shot clock in IHSA basketball. For full court press the last three possessions from Kankakee, the first time the Raiders have had to face it all night.
And Terrell fouled Du Bois as Du Bois tried to bring it up the court, and there's just been too many of those fouls for the K's. Just, you know, your Raiders trying to drive the ball up the court, and Kankakee, I appreciate they're trying to play really tough physical defense. They're a tough physical team, but you have to know that the way the game is being called, that stuff like that is going to send EP to the line, and Du Bois makes the first free throw.
I think you said it best at the end there, John. You have to know the way the game is being called. It's not, I wouldn't use the words ticky-tack, but it is very, if a foul's on the floor, they're blowing their whistle. They're not letting them play. They're making sure it's a clean game because it was very physical to start, and they're trying to make sure nothing gets out of hand.
And now it's a 10-point lead for East Peoria, 46-36, 10 seconds left in the third. Lincoln Williams over to Terrell with 5, guarded by Weatherspoon. Terrell spitting in, puts up a wild floater and gets it to fall. How about the touch from the star running back on Kankakee? That'll make it 46-38, heading into the fourth quarter here in Ottawa.
I mean, you said it well there. It was a beautiful floater. I didn't think it was going in, but it drained.
Thompson, or I should say Terrell, having a nice game. So is Thompson, but Terrell, the third, has 8. Williams has 8, and Hazlitt with 15. Again, 11 of those came in the first quarter. And again, Hazlitt, in case you're just tuning in, was hobbled a little bit with some foul trouble early on, then got hobbled literally after taking a tough fall earlier in that third quarter. Back in the game. But this is where you really have to dig deep for Kankakee, because they have been ranked number 1, sometimes number 2 in the state for most of the season. It's been them and East St. Louis. Depending on who you consult, they've been the top 2 teams in the state. But now, none of that really matters, because you're down by 8 and your season's on the line, and you're trying to win your first sectional title since 1960 and defend off an East Peoria team that's hungry on its own, looking for their first ever sectional title if they can win tonight and on Friday.
Well, you said it best. You've only had a 1-loss season. You have your most total wins in school history, and you haven't had a sectional win since 1960. K's fans have had a lot to cheer about this season. Finally, after a little bit of a drought there in the third quarter, the fans getting back on their feet, trying to use their voices and their energy to feed this K's team for the final 8.
You heard Titanium hit by David Guetta over the speaker, and whoever wins this one is going to have some nerves of titanium in this one. Yes, here's Weatherspoon for 3, and that one comes up short. Hardy went flying into the student section to try and save it, but he was out of bounds.
Tension is getting palpable in here as both student sections starting to revitalize themselves, get on their feet, make some more noise. This is the loudest the gym has been without a basket having been made all throughout the night.
And Du Bois knocked out a big 3 earlier on. That got the gym loud as Thompson drove in and got fouled. And keep an eye on the foul situation. Hazlitt, Jackson, and Williams, all with 3 for Kankakee. That was the second foul on Kingston Weatherspoon for EP, and 3 others also have 2 fouls on the Raiders. As here's Jackson, wide open baseline jumper, and he switched it.
Yeah, instead of going for 3, he just took a couple steps up. It forced East Peoria to try and protect him from a drive and at the basket. Instead, he just takes a clean, free jumper.
46-40, EP leads. Du Bois finds an open lane, can't get the layup to fall. Had a defender closing out and didn't get the roll. So now the K's the other way. Fans in light blue standing up across the way, trying to egg their team onto a big bucket. Here's Williams for 3, got it!
It's Lincoln Williams' first shot from the field that wasn't a dunk, and it comes with the first 3 for his squad in the fourth quarter.
Kay's trying to feel it now. Thompson gives a grin as he guards Du Bois. And Kit traveled as he tried to drive in on Terrell, and now the momentum just swings back in favor of the Kays.
A 3-point game with 6.5 to go. Kankakee's fans feel it right now.
They're up and chanting, waving their towels around. We will see in these next 6.5 if they truly are deserving of their #1 billing. They feed Hazlitt, guarded by Hardy in the post. Good defense by Hardy not to foul. Hazlitt shot no good. Second chance is good and one.
Hazlitt is in his feels right now. He is hyped up, fired up, whatever you want to say, and he's got an opportunity to tie this game, and I can only imagine how much louder Kankakee's going to get if that happens.
On the blink of an eye, East Peoria sees a 10-point advantage vanish if Hazlitt can knock down this free throw. 46-45, EP leads it with 6:14 to go in the fourth quarter. Here from Kingman Gym in Ottawa. Hazlitt came up short. That one didn't have a chance. Du Bois will bring it up, but Kankakee has been really aggressive with bringing those double teams as soon as Du Bois crosses half court. Now Weatherspoon over to Kit by the volleyball line, guarded by Hazlitt. Sitting in a chair, showing off that big wingspan. He's got it, 6'7". Kit traveled again in the post.
Yeah, this defense from Kankakee is continuing to close him up and box around him when he gets into the red paint of this Ottawa gym.
Kays have a chance to take the lead now, under 6 to play. And winner to face Morton on Friday night for a sectional title. Here's Meyer Thompson, back over to Williams. Get Kit on it, Williams over to Jackson. Raiders fans wanted a foul somewhere. Kankakee gonna slow things down, regain their composure. Here's Hazlitt, backing down Hardy. Still outside the paint, Aarons brings the double, leaves a wide open Jackson, and comes up short. Rebound tapped back out, into the hands of Thompson. He puts it up and one again! What a comeback from Kankakee. They now lead at 47-46 with 5:17 to play, and Thompson will shoot one more.
The third foul for the sophomore Hardy. I mean, Kankakee is not only loud, but they're on their feet, they're clapping, they're waving their towels. Now there's so many of them that are trying to calm each other down so that Thompson can make this free throw. And a PA announcement in the gym announcing lights of the cameras to be turned off.
Yeah, there's a Kankakee fan across the way, a few of them. Oh, there was another one. One lady turned hers off apologetically, and as soon as she did, another fan from Kankakee turns theirs on. Now that's a big distraction. You can't have that.
No, and the officials were the ones to spot it. Now it's the Kankakee bench and coaches who are pointing it out, and now I see more and more phones coming out from the Kankakee K's side.
They are on an 11-0 run. Could be 12 if Thompson knocks down this free throw. What do you think East Peoria needs to do on their next possession, Caden?
I mean, they've had success at the 3 line from Du Bois. If you get Quidden Kidd a good look, let him take it, but Du Bois getting some aggressive defense, and they're going to call timeout.
But Thompson has been playing some phenomenal defense on Du Bois. And credit the K's and head coach Chris Pickett. They noticed that Du Bois had the hot hand, and nothing's coming easy for Du Bois right now. He's got to move without the ball to try and get an open look here in these last 5-11.
Yeah, he's had the success in this quarter when he tries to drive, when he tries to stay anywhere other than the arc. And that's where his most success comes from. And so East Peoria needs to draw up a play where they can get him an open look. And that's just being a good teammate, driving up a good plan.
And not to be the contrarian kid, I like to see East Peoria draw something up that gets them going downhill towards the hoop. Again, they've been so aggressive in drawing fouls in this game. Kankakee has not committed one as we get a backflip competition.
Yeah, one East Peoria cheerleader went across and did some backflips. So in response, 2 female and 1 male cheerleader from Kankakee went out and did some backflips. I only mentioned the male part because he did them down and back.
You gotta love this March Hoops environment. I mean, this is sectional semifinal basketball at its best. Again, no hardware being handed out tonight, but brings you one step closer to a sectional title. But again, you got Williams with 3 fouls, Hazlitt with 3 fouls, and Jackson with 3 fouls on Kankakee. If East Peoria can attack one of them and give one of them their 4th, that pretty much doesn't allow them to play physical defense the rest of the night. As here's Weatherspoon, gets a screen from Kit, but Terrell gets around it. Kit hands back off to Weatherspoon, a little touch pass there, out beyond the arc. Now back to Kit, guarded by Hazlitt. Hardy sets a screen on the right side. Kit goes left. Oh, what a move to get past Hazlitt, but Williams swats that one volleyball style into the sideline.
He saw that ball in the air and he said, take it away, get out of here, not in my fly zone, and he sent that ball into the stands.
Not the air defense there from the K's. That was a nice move by Kit. He got Hazlitt up in the air and down there on the left block, but couldn't get the shot over the outstretched arm of Williams. As here's Weatherspoon. Tough defense, and Kankakee gets a turnover. Hazlitt driving in. Layup, underhand, up and good. K's by 4, 50-46.
Yeah, Kankakee identified a freshman with control of the basketball. They closed in on him and forced the turnover that led to 2.
Raiders can barely get a shot off with his defense right now, and another turnover. Terrell read that pass well. Up to Hazlitt, 3-on-1, but Aarons steals it away. Came flying in there on the trailer with the defense. That's a big one for EP with 4 minutes to play. Kit gonna draw a foul. That's gonna go on Jackson. That's number 4 on him.
Yeah, Aaron's there on that last possession. He just sat himself in between the 2 white jerseys so that if there was a pass, he was ready for it. And sure enough, they put it right into his breadbasket.
Raiders need a big bucket. And here you gotta look to, I think, Kit or Du Bois or Aarons. 4 minutes to play and Raiders trail 50-46. Du Bois found open for 3, knocked over, no good. Aarons gets the board. Pass it to Du Bois, who was bumped by Thompson, wanted a foul, but Aarons' foot was on the line before that foul could be called, so it's Kankakee ball.
Yeah, a deep 3 from Du Bois, and he was trying to just keep his footing there, and unfortunately for him, one of them was already out of bounds when the ball from Aarons went flying back at him.
Williams with a Euro step past Kit and lays it in. Williams with 13, Kit with 15, but Williams has the advantage as of late. It's a 6-point lead for the K's right now. Raiders don't call timeout. There's 3:25 to play, still plenty of time. Hardy got Williams up in the air. Hardy lays it up and in on the right side.
First bucket for Hardy here in the second half. He made a clean move there.
Hardy up to 8 points, and that was much needed. Get this back down to 4. 52-48, Kankakee leads. Jackson's shot came up short. Tipped back out though by Williams. Reached around Aarons, who was boxing him out. And it's still Kankakee ball here as they'll slow things down.
The Kankakee fans are trying to slow down the offense from behind the bench. Interesting to see that they're kind of listening. They are going a hair slower, trying to just find an open and clear shot with 2:40 to go.
And still plenty of time. Raiders can try and get a steal, but and this is the last season with no shot clock. Here's some boos coming from East Peoria's side. Now Jarrett Brown tells Kit to go up and press Williams. We'll get a foul with 2:25 to go. And that's going to go on Kit, number 3 on him.
I mean, that's what you got to do in this situation. You can't risk too much time being brought off the clock. Again, you still have 2:25 to go, but the longer you allow this pass game to happen undisturbed, the more of a chance that you have very little time for your comeback.
Jarrett Brown almost out to half court yelling at his team. 2:12 to go, and the K's still being patient as Hazlitt sees an open lane, drives it on. Hardy had it poked away. Hazlitt wanted a foul, And for the second or third time tonight, not going to get it. East Peoria the other way now. Aarons hands off to Kit. His three ball was deflected by Williams.
Yeah, deep two for Kit. He had 1 foot over that line, and Williams has been having that advantage as of late.
Timeout called by Chris Pickett and Kankakee. But we talked at the top of this broadcast, Kate, in the match of Lincoln Williams and Quentin Kit. And I'd say for the first 3 quarters, Quentin Kit won each of them by a little bit, but Lincoln Williams has really been outplaying Kit here in this final fourth quarter.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Kit, the junior, really has had the advantage the contest, but Williams in the last 6 minutes has dominated that one-on-one battle. And you saw as well in that third quarter, they came out, East Peoria, and they had Kit guarding E.J. Hazlitt, but they've since switched him back to Williams, and since then, it has been Williams who's had the upper hand.
And this is the biggest game of these Raiders players' lives. Kankakee went to the sectional semis last year. We saw them. They came to Washington right in our backyard and fell in a heartbreaker to Metamora, 65-63. So Kankakee has been in this type of game before. EP has not. And I think we've seen that in the last few minutes again because East Peoria went up by 10. But, it's tough to close the door and, keep it going against the #1 ranked team in the state when you have some guys that haven't played in as big of a game, as loud of a game as this has been.
Yeah, and when Kankakee was down, they got up, they made noise, and they were really getting this team back into it. It's been an all-around excellent effort from the student body that showed up, from the players, the coaches, the cheerleaders, the fans. Kankakee is here. Kankakee knows this moment, and although they haven't won a sectional since 1960, they are proving to be a little bit more experienced.
The Raiders trying to get a turnover. Oh, and Kanaz Jackson just corralled that pass with one hand and nearly lost it. Now it's Williams with it. Lost his balance, but regains it. Double teamed, and they're going to get Aarons on a foul. That will send Kankakee to the line. That's number 5 on EP. 1:32 to go, and that's 4 fouls on Jackson Aarons.
Yeah, Jackson Aarons, he might only have 5 points in this contest, but he is a key on both offense and defense for this squad, even though the point total might not be there. 4 fouls for him. He's got to have a little bit of a nerve going and being a little bit more careful for the last 90 seconds.
Williams misses the first and came up short again. That's what happened last time. Missed free throws in the playoffs and big games have been a historic trend for the K's. Trying to shake that tonight. Williams is second. Also comes up short. Tipped out of bounds. Back to East Peoria. It technically touched a Raider, but they say a Kankakee hand pushed his hand out of bounds. So East Peoria dodges a bullet with 1:31 to go. Down 52-48.
Yeah. For Kankakee, 5 for 9 on the charity stripe.
And Kit drove in on Williams, got stripped, but there was a foul call. That's now 4 fouls on Lincoln Williams. Him and Kanaz Jackson both with 4, Jackson Aarons with 4. That's only the second, though, on Kankakee this quarter. Du Bois inbounds to Weatherspoon in the corner. He goes around the arc, driving in, and the layup up and good on Terrell. The freshman brings EP back to within 2, and East Peoria is more than still in this game, Caden, with 1:20 to go.
Yeah, and it's a timeout, East Peoria. As you mentioned, look, there's 4 fouls for Williams, 4 fouls for Jackson Jr., 3 fouls for Hazlitt, but despite all of that, you are looking at Kankakee and only 2 fouls in this quarter. They've really stayed clean when it matters most. Now the entire student section on their feet, making noise, trying to invigorate and get this Raider squad back into this contest.
And Williams of Kankakee has missed his last 3 free throws. If you're in a position where you have to foul and you got 1:20 left and Kankakee is in the bonus, do you dare go and trying to foul Williams again, even though he's the #1 player in the state?
You know, he's cold right now from the free throw line, but it's really hard to say just because you're cold, I'm still going to send you to the line. After all, he is Lincoln Williams. And so in all fairness, if the ball's in his hands, I'm not against a foul on him, but it's a hard bet to make if you're Coach Jarrett Brown in this East Peoria team.
52-50, Kankakee leads East Peoria, 1:20 to go, and the Raiders bringing out the press. K's break it, they go across, it's Terrell. They're on the right side. Now Kit, guarding Nair Thompson. Him and EJ Hazlitt play catch. Raiders not fouling yet, down to 103. Good spacing here from the K's. A little too low, too high with Jackson in the middle. Down to 54 as Thompson evades Kit. Now it's over to Williams. They go back out to Hazlitt, back near half court, down to 47. Raiders gonna have to foul at some point. Who's gonna commit it? It's Du Bois. That's a smart decision there as he only has one foul. And that's gonna send Nair Thompson to the free throw line with 44.3 to go.
Thompson 1 for 2 free throw shooting in this contest. You know, Quentin Kitt thought about a foul about 20 seconds ago, but decided to pull his arm back.
Yep,
or
he's got 3.
Yeah, and look, your best player on the floor can't commit a foul when he's got 3 already.
Yeah, can't have him pick up his 4th. Raiders fans get loud, and the first one is missed. Kalen Hardy gives some small fist bumps, says, hey, we still got this. East Peoria has played so well in so many fourth quarters as of late. Do they have another comeback left in them? Got to get the rebound here if you're East Peoria. Thompson with the white headband. The lefty shoots. That one's no good, but Hazlitt gets the rebound. Kankakee with another chance. Williams cuts it and dunks it. 54-50, Kankakee leads. Brutal sequence for East Peoria. Now Kit has it with 30 seconds left to play. Hardy, he tried to find Hardy, and it thrown away, and Williams gets the steal. He heads to the line with 26.1 to play. Oh, that's brutal if you're a Raiders fan.
I mean, if you got that rebound, you were down 2 with over 30 seconds to go in this contest. Now you're down 4, watching Lincoln Williams go to the free throw line.
Williams has been all in the passing lanes and misses the free throw. Again, there's still 26.1 to go, and Kankakee leads at 54-50. He has missed his last 4, if not 5 free throws. Ball game would be nearly over if he would have made them. But you have got to know where Williams is on defense here on a must-convert situation for East Peoria, their next possession, because you cannot let him get away with the steal. His second is good. 16 points on the night for Lincoln Williams. And Kankakee calls timeout, down 55-50 with 26.1 to go. Few Raiders fans heading for the exits. This game's not over.
No,
I don't know if they've seen Kankakee or East Peoria play in the fourth quarter the last few times, but I mean, you got Quentin Kitt on your team, you got Cole Du Bois, you got guys that can make shots.
Yeah. Look, John, I said it at the top of the broadcast, but in the past 23 games for the Raiders, only one of them was a 2-possession contest, and so a little bit rusty at this point in the season in this situation, but you're down by 5, you've got 26 seconds left, and with the free throw shooting that the K's have had, in the last 6 attempts, they've only made one of them in the contest. They are 11 and 5 and 11. I'm doing it backwards. 5 and 11 in the contest. Look, if you get a quick 3 or you get a 2 and 1, and then you see Kankakee and quickly foul, you've got enough time for a second possession, and odds are in your favor that they're not going to be scoring to both of their free throws. So
we shall see. That's the way it's played out so far. Aarons inbounds it to Kitt. He brings it up. He's been hounded, and he's going to get fouled there by Thompson. Kankakee's got some to give. That's number 3 on the K's here in the fourth quarter, 21.7. The clock reads here in Kingman Gym.
Not only does that get the ball out of Quentin Kitt's hands if you are the Kankakee K's, but you had the foul to give.
Inbounds it to Kitt. Kitt driving in, and he got fouled. I think that might be on Williams. And it is. Lincoln Williams' night is through. He fouls out with 18 seconds left. 16 points, and what a job he did down the stretch as Kit's going to shoot 2. Here down by 5 for EP.
You said it best, he might be walking out of this game, but Lincoln Williams has had a fourth quarter to remember. It was a fourth quarter that brought his team to a lead and in a great position with 18 to go.
Kit's free throws no good. Both teams have missed some from the line tonight.
Quinton Kitt's 4th appearance to the charity stripe. He's missed 1 free throw in 3 of those 4 appearances.
His second one is good. Gets it back to 4, but this is still a 2-possession game as Weatherspoon will check out B.J. Nicholson in for the Raiders. It was Elijah Cunningham, the only other player we've seen on Kankakee's bench, to come in for Williams. Inbounds Hazlitt, passes it in to Jackson. Now over to Terrell, clock down to 13.9. And they'll get, I believe, Aarons, and that's 5 on him. So both teams' number 1s on their jerseys have fouled out. Aarons and Williams, and Aarons finishes with 5 points, hoping and praying that this is not his final high school basketball game as Jarrett Brown calls timeout.
Yeah, Aarons, the senior, has done everything that Coach Brown has asked on defense tonight and has contributed to their offensive successes. But down 4 with 13.9 to go. You have that debate, John. Are you going to try and stop them, force a turnover, not let them get the ball across the half-court line? But with as little time as you have left, the quick foul's almost a little bit smarter just to save as much clock as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to go as quick as possible at this point. And again, to set the scene, Kankakee with 4 team fouls, so the next one will send EP to the line. Kays have been in the bonus for about the last minute. They lead at 55 to 51. And if Terrell, who I believe is at the line, makes both of his, EP has to go down, get a quick 3, and either come away with a steal or foul and hope for 2 misses, and then get another 3 just to send it to overtime. But again, this is March, and there's 13.9 seconds still left to play. It'll be Cedric Terrell III, 5'11", senior guard at the line for the K's. As the gym gets quiet except for the Raiders student section. First one is nothing but net. 56-51, Kankakee.
Terrell's last trip to the stripe, his only of the night, was a 1 for 2.
This would be a big one. Raiders have to go very quick. Terrell's second is good. Now that does allow EP to set up their offense. It's Weatherspoon inbound. Gets it to Du Bois, down by 6. Need a quick 3 with 10. With 9, Du Bois is going to take it in, take the easy 2. Layup up and good. Timeout, Jarrett Brown with 6.2 to go, but I don't know, Caden. I think you really needed a 3 there.
You really needed a 3. I think Du Bois, maybe he just saw the open lane and he thought maybe I'll get fouled on my way. But Kankakee with a smart game plan there. We're going to defend the arc. We're going to allow the drive, and we're not going to touch him if he does go for the post. Now a lot of Raider fans leaving. So is some Kankakee folks trying to beat the traffic of this over 1,000-person basketball game we're at.
Yeah, both teams showing out tonight. And this place is going to be packed on Friday for whoever the winner is tonight, facing off against Morton. Okay, we'll have that one here right here live and for free, live audio coverage on ClutchSportsIL.com on Friday night at 7. And East Peoria trying to pull off a miracle here with 6.2 to go. Jackson inbound right in front of the EP student section. Baseball pass, risky one, caught by Thompson, who runs around, and they couldn't get the foul call, and Kankakee is going to win it. Thompson lays it in at the buzzer, and that will do it. A historic season for the Raiders comes to a close at 29-5 in the Class 3A sectional semifinals. Number 1 did prove that they were number 1 tonight, Caden. 59-53, the final here in Ottawa.
They had a first quarter lead, but the East Peoria Raiders were able to battle back, take it to 1 going into halftime, able to claw back and earn a lead for themselves in the third quarter, but it was this experienced squad. Only seniors we saw come out for Kankakee tonight, and unfortunately, if you're an East Peoria Raiders fan, you gave it all you could have. It just wasn't enough.
That's a fantastic point, Caden. And again, this Kankakee team, I mean, this is the year. You feel like not many Lincoln Williams, not many E.J. Haslets are going to walk through those doors, and much less you're going to have them at the same year. So this is the year that Kankakee felt like they had to have if they wanted to win a state title in their first sectional since 1960. And the group of seniors, again, you said all 6 players that saw the court for the case tonight, all of them were seniors. For East Peoria, Jackson Aarons, Mason Isaacs, seniors have played their last game, as well as A.J. Evans, Jordan Marsh as well. But again, this was certainly, I think, a learning experience for EP, learning to close out ball games. They were up by 10. They were down by 10. They came back and went up by 10. But again, Kankakee just with that final surge right near the end of that third quarter, they started to really cut it down, and Williams came alive. Haslett had a big first half, didn't have as big of a second half. But I mean, Williams, I think it's Williams' defense is what really did it, because Kit and Du Bois really found it hard to get going in the second half.
Yeah, Quinton Kit really had a great first 3 quarters, but Williams was able to not just play a great offensive fourth, he was able to play a strong defensive fourth, taking Kit out of that ball game for his squad. And if you didn't hear just there, all that noise was the students of Kankakee going and mobbing this K's team as they were done with the handshake line. A lot of happy smiling faces. Should be back here on Friday night to play a very, very talented Morton squad, the 2 1 seeds coming into the sectional.
It will be Kankakee against Morton, but a historic season comes to an end for EP. But, Caden, this team, I think, has got the horses in the stable to run it back next year and go much deeper, because Quinton Kit is back, Cole Du Bois is back, Kingston Weatherspoon is back, BJ Nicholson is back, Kaylin Hardy is back. And we saw Kankakee kind of in the same situation EP was in last year. A really good team that had high expectations that just didn't quite pull it out in a tough one in the playoffs. But I think next year that team, this Kankakee team, could, very much be like what East Peoria could be next year.
Oh, most certainly, John. I mean, look, you saw Jackson Aarons start. He was the only senior that started. The only other senior we saw in this game was Mason Isaacs. You have a talented roster with a lot of youth. Now that youth has gotten this experience. They've tasted it. It's palpable. Now they're able to go back next year, and they're hungrier for it, and they want to climb that hill and earn it. And they've got all the tools and all the pieces, like you said, to make that happen.
It will be a party in K3, as they call it tonight, as again, 59-53 your final. Get unofficial scoring totals for East Peoria. We'll start with them. Cole Du Bois with 19 points, and he played a really strong game. Again, it's his second game coming back after the broken hand, and knocked down some huge trays to help the Raiders take that lead back after getting socked in the mouth early on. Quinton Kit with 16 points, Aarons with 5, Kingston Weatherspoon with 5, BJ Nicholson with 3, and Kaylin Hardy with 8 for the Raiders, who finished their year 29-5, their most wins in the season in school history. For Kankakee, E.J. Haslett with 19, Lincoln Williams with 16, Cedric Terrell the third. I think he was really, I think the X factor. I mean, obviously, Williams and Haslett were the main guys. Those are the 2 guys that I think you call the player of the games for Kankakee. But Terrell was the X factor, I think. He had 10 points. Meyer Thompson with 10. Got that, that layup as time expired to get to double figures. And Kanaz Jackson Jr. with 4 for Kankakee.
Yeah, and E.J. Haslett, again, 17 points for him. He was not able to play a lot of the second quarter because of foul trouble. He missed a lot of the third because of that leg injury that he was thankfully able to come back on into the game for. But, I mean, the Sycamore commit showed why he's going Division I. He had a very prolific game without as many minutes as his coach probably was hoping for.
Well, we talked about the final scoring totals. We did just get official stats here from our good friends here in Ottawa. And again, we'll go through not the scoring totals, we just did that, but Kankakee shoots 48% from the field. East Peoria shoots 47%, but the difference, Caden, is in the amount of field goals attempted. Kankakee attempted 48, East Peoria just attempted 36. East Peoria was 6 for 16 from behind the line, Kankakee 5 for 20. Raiders 13 of 18 from the line, K's were 8 of 15. That's something they definitely want to shore up before that sectional title game against Morton. Kankakee shot 50% from the field in the second half. East Peoria also shot 50% as well. And both teams with 2 second half threes as well. Kankakee outscored East Peoria 21-7 in that fourth quarter after East Peoria outscored them 36-18 in the second and third. So the first and fourth overwhelmingly in favor of Kankakee. They outscored EP 41-17 in those frames. And again, East Peoria 36-18 over the K's in the second and third. Kankakee with 32 points in the paint, EP with 20. 10 second chance points to just 1 for East Peoria, and that was a big difference tonight as well.
Yeah, it was those blocks, it was those steals that then turned into points. Again, when you're shooting so many more, so many more shooting attempts, you're going to hopefully at least land a couple more baskets, but it really was those second chance points and efforts off of turnovers, off of those extracurricular efforts that Kankakee had that gave them those extra 6 points or more to get the win.
Well, again, that does about wrap it up from Ottawa, but before you go, we want to let you know that, again, we are just getting started this week on Clutch Sports Media. More to come as we will be, again, at CEFCO Arena in Normal for free live audio coverage. And again, plus more coverage on CSM Overtime, the home of all of our written content on ClutchSportsIsle.com. Also social media coverage as well on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Tomorrow at 11:45, DMAC playing in their first state berth, I should say, taking on Rockford Christian, 11:45 tomorrow. We'll have all that one for you. And then on Friday, and a big day for us, will be at Washington's game against St. Viator, Class 3A state semifinals. Washington, I think, is going to be a heavy favorite in that game. And that one should be fun down in Normal as the Panthers try and win a 3A state title. And then back on Friday night, we'll be right back here at Ottawa for Morton and Kankakee. And more audio coverage on ClutchSportsIsle.com. Same thing goes with Washington. And then on Saturday, if DMAC and Washington play for a state title, we'll certainly be down there as well. Again, that doesn't include, again, all of our written coverage and recaps and all the good stuff on CSM Overtime, plus more on our social media channels as well. But I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. This was a dandy from Ottawa. Again, 59-53, your final. Any last words for you, Caden Sexton?
I mean, I think Friday is going to be an incredible contest. Kankakee, obviously the #1 scoring offense in Class 3A, but Morton beat this East Peoria team twice in 2 close games. Neither was over a 12-point win for the Morton Potters. And so after seeing tonight's game, I'm only more excited for the sectional and what could be the first sectional since 1960 for this Kankakee K squad.
March is when some special stories are written, and unfortunately East Peoria's comes to an end tonight, but Kankakee keeps theirs going, and we have many more stories to write and to tell you on Clutch Sports Media, but that will do it for the last time from Ottawa. 59-53, Kankakee moving on in the Class 3A Sweet 16. We'll see you tomorrow and Friday, and maybe even Saturday too, right here on ClutchSportsIsle.com. Again, for Caden Sexton, I'm Jonathan Michael saying so long and good night.